Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Sunday, it's October the 17th. So welcome to Sunday. I have my cup of tea this morning. I've got my lemon ginger, one of my favorites, and it's a lovely tea for a cold, icy morning. Outside the window right now, it's really misty. We're having one of those days where you literally cannot see out the window. It's just foggy, very magical, mysterious kind of morning. So thanks for being here. I'm going to bring you up to speed on some of the news headlines, and also at the end I want to share a couple of very practical articles about what to do in retirement, financially and in other ways. So stay tuned for that. And I've also got a little gift for someone at the end of the show as well. So let's go through the news, and then we'll get to some other things for you. Now, there's a lot going on this weekend in all over the world, but particularly in the Middle East. And I'll give you an up-to-date snapshot of a few activities. And I'm doing this because a lot of news is not reported in other parts of the world, in the United States, for example. And these are stories and incidents that I think really show that we are a united, global community. That we are in this together. So I'll give you an update. Now, in Iraq, as we've been talking about this potential attack or planned attack on Mosul, which is a town in Iraq that's controlled by the IS army. They've had this town or the city under their control since 2014, and now there's a really heavy push to move into Mosul. Iraqi forces combined with Peshmerga and also other coalition partners to do an attack from the air and the ground. It's going to be quite dramatic when it happens. But yesterday, the IS army kind of hit back and attacked several Shiite gatherings in Iraq and killed 34 people. They hit a funeral home, and also there was just some individuals who were targeted, and also a police checkpoint. So they're showing that they're active in other parts of the country, and it's just going to be quite an interesting struggle in the next few weeks and months. Now, in Syria, there's another push going on with rebel soldiers backed by Turkey moving into a town called Dabik. Dabik is a very important little town or city to the Islamic State Army. It plays into their religious beliefs and into their strategy for their plan to take over that part of the world. And so Dabik is very important, and that is now on its way to being attacked and hopefully taken back. In India yesterday, there was a very unfortunate stampede at a religious ceremony. There are certain parts of the country where you're meant to visit in your lifetime. Varanasi or Benares is one of those places. And in this religious ceremony, there was a bridge people were trying to get across, and there was panic set in when it was told that it was going to fall down, and people started stampeding, and quite a few died, 19 people. I've been to India many times. I don't know whether you like India. If you've been, it's a very complex country, and honestly, I think you almost love it or hate it. It's just, there's no gray, but they do have a very rich spiritual tradition, and these these get-togethers, these gatherings are super important. I've been in a couple myself, and they can be quite frightening. A lot of people in a very small space, a lot of energy and passion as well. So I hope everyone's okay there. I wanted to also report on yesterday in Rwanda, in Africa. There was a meeting of countries to try to get a legally binding agreement passed on climate change. This is not to do with the climate change Paris Accord that is being passed at the UN. This is another one called the Montreal Protocol. And the goal of this protocol was to try to get countries to stop the reduction or to reduce HFC gases. Apparently, these are gases that come from refrigerators and other man-made devices, and directly linked to the reduction of the ozone level, which is super important and relates to the climate changes that we're seeing. Now, as I mentioned, this is legally binding, not like the Paris Accord, which is just everyone doing their best. And this was passed. 188 countries yesterday agreed to have it, to go for it. And it will start immediately going into effect for developed countries, and then developing countries have a few more years to kind of get their plans together. So that's good news from Rwanda that was passed. There was another story in a related part of the world in Yemen. You remember a few days ago we reported on an attack by the Saudi coalition, and it was very, very horrible attack. 150 people were killed, and it was internationally, slammed. I mean, no one could understand what it was for. And yesterday, the Saudi government came out and said it was an accident. They didn't have the right information, and they thought they were targeting Houthi leaders, who are, as you remember, their opponents in that part of the world. And so they were admitting that they'd made a mistake. This happens all the time, and it's just so sad because it's innocent people, as always, who suffer. So anyway, I don't want to leave out the United States because, there's not a lot of news coming out of the States except for the election. So I'll give you a very quick update as if you don't know all of this information yourselves, but, just in case people in other parts of the world aren't aware. Well, as you know, the Republican presidential candidate, Donald Trump, has been under attack by several women. I think 8 now have come forward accusing him of sexual harassment. He is very publicly stating he's not responsible and that he feels he's a victim of, of a personal attack. But this is being very much covered in the news. Lots of interviews, lots of claims and counterclaims. But it's just all part of this tapestry of the United States elections. And at the same time, WikiLeaks has released even more emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign gentleman. He was what's his name? John Podesta. His emails have been released, and they have been giving information about Hillary Clinton's presentations to Wall Street city companies, and also her thoughts about Russia. And these are edgy comments about her thoughts on these things, and of course being used as a point of conversation. So the next debate is next week, Wednesday, in Las Vegas. I've seen several people in quite reputable newspapers asking for it to be cancelled, saying what's the point? It's the level of conversation has gotten pretty personal, and is it going to really make a difference? So I'm imagining it will continue because it's already booked, and the election's less than 3 weeks away. So that's the news from the United States. Now, I want to just take a minute and change gears here because I know a lot of you in your retirement are dealing with financial issues. So this next few minutes is going to be about you in terms of planning and doing something about it. So there's an article, it was in Next Avenue, we'll leave you the link so you can read it, about what you can do to plan your retirement strategy, your checklist. It's a really good article. Some of it applies more to people in their 50s who are still working, but I think a lot still is relevant to us in our 60s. And the first thing, of course, they recommend is to get educated. Get control of your finances, and they have a list of books, and they also have a checklist that you can download and go through to see how you stand in terms of your financial stability in your retirement. The second thing is to get a snapshot of your spending. This is something that I know people, especially who are challenged financially, don't like to do. It's not pleasant to make a list of all the people you owe money or all of your obligations, but this is absolutely critical to your financial security. The third thing is to build an emergency fund. Now the experts say that you should have 6 months, rent, food and living expenses put away. You should not touch it. Because if you're living paycheck to paycheck, it is very, very hard if something goes wrong. If there's a medical problem or something, just impacts your life. And I do know that there are so many women in our community who are living on pensions and Social Security and just don't have 6 months put aside. But if you've got an ability to even put 1 month aside, just do that if you can. The next thing, the fourth thing, was to pay down debts as much as you can. Pay a little bit each month, and maybe your psychology is to pay down the smaller ones first. It'll give you a sense of accomplishment and pride, because I know it's sometimes very overwhelming if you have a big bill that's just you're paying every month but not really going very far. Also, give yourself an insurance checkup. Now, if you have an insurance policy, life insurance, see if it's really necessary now that your children are perhaps grown and independent. But maybe look at your long-term disability insurance or even a funeral insurance if that's something that would put your mind at rest. So that's, I think, some important checklist ideas for having having some stability financially in retirement. Talk to people as well. Share it with people. Get together with friends. Help each other. It really does make a difference. Now, if you're running out of money in retirement and you honestly, I mean, there's so many people in this position, and you want to work a little bit part-time on your, for yourself, but just don't know where to start. Well, 60andMe, honestly, I think we put together the most fabulous list yesterday. It's on our website, and we'll leave you a link to it. I've never seen a list like this. We pulled it together from all kinds of sources. We worked really, really hard to find things that were practical, that were doable in your 60s. And we've got 60 creative things that you can do to make money in retirement. 60. And of course, some of them are very relevant to specific areas. So there are some that are only happening in the United States. But what's really important are the ideas. Now, we may have linked, for example, to, to some kind of an opportunity in the United States specifically. And of course, it's not available here in Europe. But the idea is available in Europe because it's in your head. And most of these things. So, for example, you can bake cakes anywhere. You can do life coaching. You can be a freelance writer. You can do house sitting, pet walking, gardening. You can sell items that you make on Etsy Global. eBay is global. You can do all kinds of cool things. And there's, literally there's a list of 60, and I won't read them all. Some of them I think are super creative, like being a tour guide in your city, or doing programs for expats who might be coming into your town, mentoring that you can do online, writing. You can be a freelance writer. There are ways to make money. And take a look at the list, see what you think, and love your feedback. And if you've got any others you'd like us to think about including in the next edition, let us know about that too, how to make money in your 60s. Okay, so one final point here is a special request. I didn't write down the name of the person that asked this question, but one of our women in our feedback section said, tell me, I've got all these great ideas for my 60s, like working or getting out in the world, but I'm just super tired all the time. Give me some ideas about energy. And funnily enough, we've written several articles on this. And I'm going to go through the Margaret list that you're going to be going, You said these all before. But honestly, guys, there's no magic pill. I can't say go and do this, drink this tea, or take this vitamin, and instantly you're going to feel more energy. It doesn't work like that. So if it sounds like I'm repeating myself, it's true that I am. I'm just reminding us, and I'm also honestly reminding myself too. So here we go. I'll go quickly through the list. First, get enough sleep. Get enough sleep. If you wake up at 3 a.m, try to go back to sleep. Get enough. That's important. Drink more water. And tea does count as water. I think it was decaffeinated, but don't count on your tea and coffee liquid intake. Drink water. And if you find yourself with getting lots of bags under your eyes, or your skin is puffy, it's because you're not drinking enough water. Or one of the reasons is that you perhaps are not drinking enough water. Your body goes into kind of a panic mode, and it stores water in places that that it can. So anyway, drink lots of water. Next thing is to do strength training. Now, if you don't want to go to the gym, just get some weights and do some lifting, do some stretching. It helps. Building muscles helps to burn calories, and burning calories gives you energy. So it's really important that you do some kind of exercise. And even if you just pick up some cans of soup, do something to lift weights every day. Really important. Take your vitamins is another suggestion that we make in this article. And there's actually, funny enough, an article today that we put on our website from one of our bloggers about whether you should take individual vitamins or multivitamins. But have a look at that article, but also just make sure that you're supplementing your healthy diet with the supplements that you might need. And then the other suggestion is to eat smaller meals more often. This has been in several magazines, and I actually think it's probably true that if you tend to snack just little small meals a day, and do it more frequently. That somehow that does something to your metabolism that makes it easier to get to turn into energy. And then snack on proteins. If you're going to snack on something, grab some cheese or peanut butter, something with protein instead of snacking on cookies, like I do sometimes. It's hard, I know. Anyway, I'm not trying to preach. I'm just trying, honestly, to give you some ideas, and that's really all that really matters. I just want to give you some inspiration. That's what we're here for each other. So I've got a little gift here that I'd like to give to someone today. It's kind of our little presents that we do now and again are totally fun and funky. They're honestly just meant to just give you something of me and of 60 and me to remind you that we love you. So this is a postcard. Can you see this postcard? I love this postcard. In Switzerland, we have these people that play these instruments. They're actually, I think they play them on the mountains. It's kind of a mountain thing. There we go. And the Indian men, of course, are in there sitting down with their cobras. You can see little snakes here. It's kind of a cultural postcard. So if you would like this postcard, I can send it to you and put it, with a nice Swiss stamp and just a personal little gift from Switzerland. If you would like that, just put your details in the section below. We'll have a conversation about anything we've discussed today, and I'll choose one name randomly and send it off to you. So I do hope that you have a great Sunday, everyone, that you've got something planned. Hope the sun's out shining for you, and just take good care. Pamper yourselves today. It's your day. And I want to leave you with a question and something to think about and help others with. And that is, what do you do every day to get more energy in your life? Let's inspire each other with some ideas to get active and energetic. So what is one thing that you do every day in your life to feel more energetic? I look forward to your comments. I might learn some for all of you, and we'll be back here tomorrow. We can discuss some of what you've written. So have a wonderful Sunday, everyone, and I'll see you back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Bye-bye for now.